Are you frozen or are you just very still?
I was sitting in silence waiting to see if you thought it.
Okay. I wasn't.
Yes, it worked.
It worked.
Dino and Joe Show. This is Dino, and that is Joe.
Hey, I'm Joe.
Hi, you know what I always notice? I look away after I say it, like I'm as if like there's
Shame?
something going to happen right now. Like there was like something I was like turning away from to say, oh, look at the importance of it. I don't know what I just did that for, but I just did that.
Hey, maybe
It's
there's
very
something
weird.
over there.
It's very weird when you see. So when you're in radio, you don't see what you're doing, right?
Right.
You talk with your hands a lot, and there's all this stuff, but you don't ever see it. You just hear it.
Right.
And then like you record your shows with what you say and you go back and listen to what you say, but you never see it. And so it's very awkward now to see myself. That's weird to me because I'm just used to not seeing myself.
Here's what we'll do. We'll throw it in a podcast and you don't have to worry about it.
This right here was a face for radio.
Face for radio.
Doesn't get any better. Doesn't get better looking.
It just stays that way.
Change for the better. I somehow managed to find a woman who could put up with me.
Hey.
Wasn't based on looks. It was very much based on my sense of humor.
Whatever. As long as it worked, that's fine.
But yeah, it's so very weird. It's so very weird to see yourself. Like it's just it's something I'm getting accustomed to, shall we say?
That's fair.
So how are things with you?
Things are good.
Yeah.
It's warming up again. Finally, we're almost in the 50s, so that's nice. The snow is slowly drifting away.
Canadian friends, that is 15.
Yes, that is very good job. Look at you cutting in half, and that's very
divided
good.
by 2.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Birthday coming up, but I mean,
yours too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have birthdays in the same month. I found that out this month.
Yes, we do.
Did not realize that our birthdays were so close together.
They are so close together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have anybody for your birthday? What am I getting for my birthday?
Yeah. I assume you're like me at this point where it's no longer about what do I want for my birthday and hope somebody gets it. It's pretty much like I know I'm going to get this for my birthday.
So I have a very, not a strict rule, but I don't want anything for my birthday. If somebody wants to get me something, okay, but like I buy what I want if I really want something, like whether it's my birthday or not. Like, that's what I mean. Like if I want something, I'll buy it. If I don't buy it.
But that's what we've evolved to, though, right? Like, I mean, when you're a kid,
absolutely,
right? Obviously, you don't have any money, or maybe you have money, but it's always being saved. It feels like, So, you ask for a bunch of stuff and hope that you get it, right? Oh, it's a big surprise. And like now, like and I literally buy myself stuff and then go, hey, look what you got me for my birthday.
Right. That's all right, thanks. Makes it easier, right?
Yeah.
Do you have anybody famous that you know of born on your birthday?
I don't think, I'm going to be so mistaken by this. I'm sure maybe Jimi Hendrix.
Ooh.
That seems like something I've heard. But I can't tell you for sure. I don't know who really was born on my birthday. No, I've heard that, but I don't know if that's right. I could totally be making that up and lying right now.
So I just make sure I was not lying. And there's 3 people, I feel like, or 4 people, maybe a majority of the listeners would know. Number 1, and the one I knew for a long time, was Mr. William Shatner.
Oh, well, very good.
He was one of the big ones. Andrew Lloyd Webber, I know. And I looked it up. Also, Miss Reese Witherspoon and J.J. Watt, the football player.
It's so bad. I have a lot of people born on my birthday I didn't even realize.
Really?
And none of them are Jimi Hendrix.
Okay. Well, I mean, you tried.
I absolutely made that up. So that was a complete mistake. Wow. I've never known there was this many people that are celebrities that were born on my birthday.
Yeah, I have a lot too that I'm kind of going through. I don't know everybody. Oh, Keegan-Michael Key. Funny guy.
There you go.
Marcel Marceau, beloved
mime.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Who else? Rick Harrison, the owner of the the owner of the Silver and Gold Pawn Shop from Pawn Stars.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Rick Harrison, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right on.
Who
I
else?
thought you'd like my miming. I was,
I did enjoy your miming. I thought it was fantastic.
here's the one for the longest time on my birthday that everybody was like, "Oh, this person was born on your birthday," and I was like, "Is that really like a big deal?" Do you remember Gabe Kaplan?
The name sounds so familiar, but I don't know why.
He was Mr. Cotter and Welcome Back Cotter.
That's okay. Yes.
And
Then
I'm
now I
always
know what
like,
you're
why is that like the big, like, oh, other people get like all these big celebrities and I get, the guy that, was a sweat hog.
talking
Because, that's how I roll. Would you
about.
like to know, though, who's on my birthday? This is crazy.
Give me a couple. Yes. Let's hear it.
Al Gore,
Oh, okay.
actor Ewan McGregor,
Oh.
Christopher Walken.
Oh, wow.
I feel so much better about my birthday
You got a
celebrities at
lot
this
of
point.
cool people.
Cesar Chavez, the civil rights activist. And then Angus Young from AC/DC.
AC/DC. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, cool.
oh, here's the other one I always heard about, which I was always like, really? Real Perlman.
Oh, like Danny DeVito's ex-wife?
Yeah, from
Okay.
Cheers. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, gee, that's
Yeah.
great.
Hey, Rhea Perlman, she's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so name the Marx Brothers for me.
Groucho, Harpo, and
That's the one you're
why
trying to
am I
search for.
forgetting the one?
That's the one that's burned on my birthday. The least famous of them all.
Which one?
Chico.
Chico. Oh, wow. Man, that was really taxing. That was
I
I
knew
was like, holy cow! I know there's a third one. I think there's a
I
fourth one too, right? Somebody's yelling Curly in the other room. You're right. Curly was the Marx brother. Yeah, he had the curly hair. Uh-huh.
Marx.
Thanks to the assist from my wife from the other room.
Hold on, wait. Where? I want to see what their names are now. Chico, Gummo, Harpo, Groucho, Zeppo. So there are five.
Zappa. I remember that one.
Of course, Groucho is the most
Oh,
famous.
Curly was in the Three Stooges.
Yes. Because I was gonna say I didn't think that was right because it's Mo, Larry, Curly. Then they brought in Shemp to replace Curly. Then they brought in Joe to replace Shemp. I love the Three Stooges.
Wow, you know that very well. Look at you.
When I was a kid, the Three Stooges were what it was about. Like that was my favorite all-time thing. I would watch those I could probably recite a few of those. Yeah. Niagara Falls, inch by inch. It is one of my favorite of all time. Like,
oh, that's hysterical.
They're hilarious.
I remember them from being a kid, but I was not that into them.
I
They
was
were just funny because they were guys hitting each other. What I didn't realize was they really hit each other.
Yes, those were all real moves.
When they got hit by a board, they got hit by a board.
Yeah.
Like those were men. Because even I go, no.
No.
You're gonna swing around and hit me with a 2x4? I don't think so.
It's gonna be a fake one made of styrofoam.
Balsa wood.
Right, exactly.
You pick it up with one
very
finger.
easily.
Right.
But yes, Chico probably. Well, I never knew there was a Gummo Marx, so he's maybe the second least famous. But
yeah, I didn't know that one.
But yeah, Gummo or Chico Marx is born on my birthday as well.
There you go.
There it is.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's something. I don't know if it's interesting.
You got the least popular of them, but that's all right.
Right. That's what I mean. It's like it couldn't have been Groucho. I could have taken
waitress.
Zeppo too.
That's your waitress from Cheers right there. Carla. Was it Carla? I think it was Carla.
I think it was Carla.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't watch Cheers as much as I watched The Three Stooges, so I can't help you there.
All I know is Sammy was a great baseball pitcher at one point.
At one point. Did you hear, speaking of a Cheers type thing, Frasier might be coming back?
I heard this, and I'm trying to figure out how they're going to reboot Cheers. I mean, obviously, the thing is to reboot everything now at this point, right? So if it was ever a popular show, bring it back in some way. Although I think that, Will Smith did it the right way, right? He just did a reunion. He didn't do like the actual, let's redo the TV show kind of thing.
Yes.
Maybe he might have had time constraints or
whatever, but
maybe he's a little bit more of a high level actor at this point.
Just a touch.
Than, dancing to Jazzy Jeff playing the drums. But my kids have rediscovered The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not a reboot, the actual show, because it's on Disney Plus or one of those things, right?
Okay.
And like my 5-year-old's like, "Hey, Dad, the show where the guy he's dancing, right?" And like literally, like it's a Will Smith episode that he's dancing to Jazzy Jeff playing the drums, and yeah, so they've rediscovered that, which is interesting. That's kind of fun.
Hmm. So, I don't know why. Like, I watched the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the French Prince of Bel Air.
French.
Bonjour, I'm Pierre. The Fresh Prince of Bel
I
Air.
was in trouble in Normandy, so I had to go live with my uncle.
My uncle up in Paris.
So bad too.
Bel Air. No, but I watched the Fresh
The
Prince.
French Prince of Bel Air, King Louis the 13th of Bel
Fantastic.
Air.
Um,
It's awesome.
the French Prince.
That's a show we should reboot it
That
to.
is a
That's
rebootable show right there.
fantastic. Wearing knickers.
Just everybody wearing like
Right.
I almost said toupees, berets, berets,
right?
all the
Carrying
A's.
around a baguette and smoking cigarettes.
Marcel Marceau could join them.
He's
See?
on your birthday. It
People
all
think
works.
we just talk about whatever. It's all full circle here.
Yeah,
at
it's a
Dino and
comedic
Joe
circle
Show.
right there. Sure. Oh,
That's really good. But I watched The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but for some reason, I don't remember it very
What?
well. I
Really?
remember watching it, but I don't remember. I remember the Carlton dance, of course, but like,
Of course.
there were so many. I've been rewatching it a little bit lately, in free time because it was a great show, and I think you're right. It is on Disney Plus or something like that, and it was a great show. I don't like remember a lot of it, which blew my mind.
Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to live with them.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, they had money.
They really did. I'm looking at TV show reboots that are coming or are already here. So Saved by the Bell is one.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't know. That's such a show, right? And the characters you remember, but I don't know. I have a hard time with that one.
That one, it was a fine show when it was on, but I don't really need to re-see it as them as like I think teachers.
Yeah,
I'm
I haven't
okay.
gone down that road. I just am like, I don't get it.
So Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes, I heard this too.
Okay.
That Chuck Norris is going to reboot Walker, Texas Ranger.
But it's called Walker.
Yes.
Just Walker.
Just Walker.
Punky Brewster.
Oh, saw the ad for that one. I never watched that show.
I think I watched it once and I don't remember it.
I was not a Punky Brewster fan.
Now this is a show I watched religiously, Ren and Stimpy show.
You want to be a monkey? A monkey, monkey, monkey. Yeah. I mean, Ren and Stimpy classic, right? But it's a cartoon. I mean, rebooting a cartoon is nothing. You just reanimate it. So
exactly.
Will the voices be the same? That's don't you hate in cartoons when you know the voice changes?
That's the word because
it's so
obvious. It's so awful.
And there's some like Scooby-Doo always comes to mind, right? Every time they redo Scooby-Doo, you go, oh my goodness, if they don't get Shaggy's voice right, because it is Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Casey Kasem.
That's better than some of the redos that I've heard, honest to
God. Yeah. Well, Casey, I actually met Casey Kasem.
Really?
That was an honor. Absolutely. I got to meet Casey Kasem and I got to meet Dick Clark. And I'll tell you, that's like two of the coolest things you'll ever do if you're a radio nerd like I was, right? But when Casey sits in front of you and he goes, hi, I'm Casey Kasem. You kind of go, hi, Casey, I'm Casey. Right? Because it's just fun to do. I don't think he thought it was funny, but at the same point, you got to do that stuff. But yeah, so like it'll be interesting to see if when they reboot Ren and Stimpy, if the voices match. Because if they don't, that nostalgia kind of goes away a little bit. You're like, oh, it's not the same, right?
Well, as long as they sing the log song.
Oh, wow. Barely.
Log, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. Log, it's better than bad, it's good. Everybody wants a log. Everybody needs a log. Dun.
And for our fans on TikTok, that will be there.
Good. What's the other one? Happy Joy.
Oh,
the best song of the entire show. Happy Joy. Yeah. See, those I remember very well, like without a doubt, because I don't know. I guess I just watched it more. Battlestar Galactica. I'll be honest, I never watched Battlestar Galactica.
They rebooted it already, though.
Well, they're
So
going to reboot the reboot.
there's the original Battlestar Galactica series, right?
Mhm.
With oh man,
Well, I'm looking at them now.
I can't
I can
remember the character names.
I can name two people. Well, their actual names. Again, I didn't watch it, so I don't know. But it's Edward James Olmos and Katie Sackhoff.
That was the reboot, though, right?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch it, so I couldn't tell.
So yeah, there's the original series, and then they brought back a second series where the cyborg was a girl. It was a weird thing because cyborgs were like the Cylon Raiders.
Okay.
That was the bad guy with
Sure.
the and yeah, so they had like the red eye or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought they already rebooted it once. They're gonna reboot it again. Okay.
It remains a key
Someone's
series.
out of ideas there.
Usually reboot the concept. Yeah, I don't know. Gossip Girl, XOXO Gossip Girl.
I heard about that too. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
I didn't
no.
watch that show.
Clueless, the movie Clueless. Yeah.
They're gonna reboot Clueless.
The movie's following remains strong and has received all manner of spin-offs from a television series the last 3 seasons. I did not know that.
Yes.
To a line of books to a stage musical. I did not know any of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do that
Good
too.
for them.
Are they bringing back Cher? Alicia Silverstone reprising the role of Cher?
That'd be cool, but it does not say.
Are they doing another Legally Blonde? I heard that too.
Probably. I haven't gotten there yet. I don't know what that is. Oh, French Prince. We talked about that.
Wait a minute. Did you say you don't know what Legally Blonde is?
No. No. I said it was G4. And the page went blank. There it is. Okay. It's called G4 TV. I don't know what that is.
No,
I know what Legally Blonde is.
Okay. All right. You scared me there.
MacGruber. Thank you. That's something I'd want to watch is MacGruber.
MacGruber?
Yeah. They're turning it.
I don't know that.
You don't know MacGruber. It's the spin-off of MacGyver. It's the SNL skit.
Oh, yeah. No, I have no interest. No. SNL shows, they're hit or miss for me. You know,
which one?
Like
the
anytime
SNL
takes a skit and tries to make a 2-hour movie out of it, I just struggle with that a little bit. Like some of them, okay, but some of them, are just, I don't know. It's hard to rehash the same 2-minute jokes into a 2-hour movie. Like for me, some of those don't pay off.
The biggest one I can think of, Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World, absolutely. But there was concept there. I think good writers, it made sense, right? And you could expand it out. But then I go to Ladies Man and I go,
oh yeah,
So
like 2 things around both of those things. Number 1, Wayne's World, set in Aurora, Illinois, just a mere 5 minutes away from my humble abode here.
Yes.
And it was the thing that irritated me is, I'm sure it did most Chicagoans, the stuff that they put in the beginning of the film when they're driving around.
Yeah.
Was everywhere but in Aurora. It was in Berwyn. It was on 63rd Street in Chicago. It was all these different places. And I was pissed off that they didn't build a real Stan Mikita's Donuts here, because I would have Stan Mikita's Donuts. I would have his donut holes with that pissed off guy who runs the place, who is a PTSD guy. But
yeah. But again, Night at the Roxbury, like some of that stuff comes to mind, and I go, ooh. Yeah. So I don't know. It's hit or miss for me. MacGruber to me wasn't that enthralling on Saturday Night Live, so a 2-hour movie of that would be probably painful to me.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was really like that good from there.
Well, I mean, Blues Brothers. I mean, we go to there's some classics.
Yeah. I'm talking about recent.
But Coneheads, that didn't translate.
I enjoyed Coneheads.
Did you really?
It's not my favorite movie ever, but I thought it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so hard to take those things and then make them into long.
Right, longer than a 5 to 10 minute skit.
Right.
Oh, I found a new list. Sister with the Maori twins. They're rebooting that.
Oh, had no idea.
30 something. Have you ever seen that show?
I didn't watch that.
It was in the 80s. I know my mom
30 something at that time, so I didn't relate. And then once I got in my 30s, that show didn't exist anymore. So yeah, that wasn't something I was on.
Nash Bridges.
Never watched it.
With Don Johnson and Cheech Marie.
I remember it. Just watched it.
Clarissa Explains It All.
The Disney show?
It's a Nickelodeon show, but yeah,
Oh,
apparently they're
Nickelodeon.
redoing that.
Again,
Uh,
probably that was way too young for me at the time it was on that I would have been interested.
Lizzie McGuire, Punky
Remember Lizzie McGuire?
Brewster. Man, these pages I'm looking at are real. Oh, I just stumbled upon the best one of them all,
Oh,
Alf.
they're gonna reboot Alf?
That's what it's saying, but this webpage decided to freeze on me, so I can't give you any more information.
Thank
I
you
just see
for
the top
pointing that
half
one
of
out.
Alf's head.
They're bringing back the puppet to eat the cat.
Hey,
I
yeah,
don't
this
know.
is.
Reboots are tough to me. Just tough. You know.
No, you're not
And
wrong.
then the reboot stuff I didn't watch, so then it's like
Right,
I have no interest because I didn't watch it the first time, right? Like,
right.
um, what was I mean, and I know it was really popular, and I know people were all over it. Was Will and Grace when they
Mm,
rebooted Will and Grace, and it got huge reviews. People loved it. I never watched Will and Grace the first time,
right.
you know, so I didn't understand the jokes, you know, then like I didn't get it now. So like that one kind of went over me too. I know a lot of people loved it though, so good for them. And then you know, obviously it won awards. It was a good show, so just wasn't my.
Anim Animaniacs.
Again, okay, it's a cartoon. How hard is that to reboot? Like you're reanimating it, but at the same point, will you get the same, you
Yeah,
know,
probably not.
voices?
I think the idea is a lot of this is obviously the nostalgia for the people who are now
Sure,
adults that were kid during the 90s, right?
sure.
Conan the Barbarian. I hope Arnold
Wait a
comes
minute.
back for it.
The movie? They're gonna reboot the movie and do another
This has only
version?
been rumored to this point, but the property based on the original books and not the Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
film could see the light of day. Arnold's proposed King Conan spinoff is not related. Okay, well that's less interesting. Bewitched,
Okay.
that's
I
fine.
I remember that show when I was a kid.
The Jetsons,
Again, another cartoon.
The Nanny with Fran Drescher, Northern Exposure. Do you remember
Oh
Northern
yeah.
Exposure?
Remember the Naked Run?
Yes,
Yeah. That was a good show. I remember
that's a
that
good
show.
show.
Yeah, I liked that show.
What else? Oh, and that's the end of it. So, but I mean, I think there's a lot of, I don't know. I'm very cautious when I hear a reboot because, for instance, one of my favorite shows of all time, The Office, right?
Yes.
The
Oh
English
man, they want
version.
to reboot The Office. The fans want The Office rebooted, and I love The Office. I actually have a sign on my door from The Office that says The Office on my
So,
office.
did you ever watch the original English one?
Yes, I'm not all of it. I've only seen episodes.
So I loved that. That was the first one. I was into it. I'm into the dry British humor. I love it.
Sure.
So then I heard they were making an American one, and I'm like, oh, we ruin everything that's funny from over there. Like so, but then I fell in love with that one even more.
Yep.
I don't know if I've told everybody this, but I am a 10-time Office trivia champion. Not to.
Which is funny because there's an episode about the trivia contest in it where the
Yes,
team that you think should win
correct.
is nowhere near. I don't want to
No.
ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen
Yeah,
it.
spoiler alerts, everybody.
Yeah. But the team that you think is gonna win gets upstaged by the team that you think shouldn't win.
So if anybody's interested in you're ever in the Chicagoland area again, please look for Scrantonicity 3. That is our team name. It has always been and it always will be. Scrantonicity 3. We are 10-time champions in this area at the Granite City trivia.
I picture these people now going to Chicago and going to a night where they know it's office trivia and actually asking for
Scrantonicity.
Scrantonicity 3.
You can sit right
Are
next to
they
us.
are they in the house?
We have been accused of cheating by looking stuff up on our phones. By
Well,
if
that's every trivia night I've ever heard of in my life. Somebody
right.
says, "Oh, you had to be looking it up because you won."
No, I am that nerdy where I know that show inside and out. People
I just
test people test me and I don't like that because I'm like, you're not going to ask me a hard enough question. It's really sad. Like people at work or friends, they're going to be like, well, what about this? And I'd be like, you mean on, episode 5, season 3 at 15 minutes? You're a joke. Get away from me. This is one thing I pride myself on. Okay. This is, I can remember the log
literally.
song from Ren and Stimpy and I can destroy it office trivia. That's
That
just,
is hysterical. You literally are like very like aloof about it too, boy. You are like, I know.
I
I
do.
know things.
I know a lot of things about that. That's one thing that I know I know. I don't know a lot of things that I know.
That's hysterical.
But my point is, if they tried to reboot that, I would be
Yeah.
very, I would say I would be optimistically cautious because reboots tend to not go super well because they either don't get the same actors, they don't get the same showrunner or producer or writer or whatever. And that magic that they had the first time
Hmm.
around just goes down
Yeah.
the toilet. And I
Well,
would not want that.
yeah, I think if they wanted to reboot The Office, they'd have to bring back enough of the original characters for you to be interested in what they're doing, and then also whatever new characters they would bring in, because I don't think they could just do it with the same old characters and do the same old show either. I think fans would grow tired of that because they've seen it, right? Like
Right.
like that show has a journey from the very beginning until the
100%.
end. Like it went the way you wanted it to go, the expected way, right? I don't know that they could reboot it and just bring back the same characters. They'd all just be older. And
I
then
agree.
all of a sudden they're all back at the paper company again, that became a non-paper company in the very end because it was like the technology company bottom, and suddenly they
Okay.
were selling the phones, the
Okay.
triangle phones. And,
You're hurting me. You're getting the right premise. It's Dunder Mifflin, was purchased by Saber, and it's the power of the pyramid.
uh,
Okay. Can you
there you go.
please? God, Dean, you hurt me. Why do you hurt me so when I show you nothing but just the best intentions? Oh, but for all of our Office fans, I'm going to do a plug for a podcast that you should listen to after you watch this, of course. Don't
Yes.
turn this off afterwards. The Office Deep Dive by Brian Baumgartner, who is
Okay.
Kevin from The Office.
Yeah.
He basically sits down with the showrunner and all the different characters, and they do like a 30-minute interview. Oh, fantastic. Lots of insights, super interesting. When I'm driving to work, that's what I always listen to. I think it's hilarious. And the best thing is all the people from The Office still talk with each other. So if it were ever to happen, it, I mean, it could happen. Everybody still talks to each other. They're all still available.
So you're saying that the challenge then for me is to put together some super hard office trivia questions and see what your knowledge is.
Challenge.
See, if this were prearranged, I would just pull out questions right now and you'd be like, oh, well, it's not
Here's what I'm going to
prearranged, so
say.
we're gonna have to do it later because I
Here's what I'm
don't
going to
have
say.
anything prepared.
You have my word.
Yes.
I will not watch The Office more than I normally would because I usually watch
No,
it
that's fine.
when
I
I go
don't
to
care.
bed.
I don't
But
care.
I am not going to practice. I'm going
You
to
won't
give
know what I'm
you.
gonna ask.
I know, but well, I mean, I'm going to know what you ask because I know that show really well, and I'm not going to have a problem with it. But yeah, I will not
All right.
study for anything. I will just come to you with the
How can
bare
you
knowledge
study
I have.
for a test you don't know the questions to?
Well, I mean, that's what every test. I don't know the question. How did I study for a math test in fifth grade? I didn't know the questions to it, but I studied the stuff,
Pretty
the
sure you had an
material.
idea what they're gonna ask.
I'm not
Like,
really.
if you were working on 4 plus 4 and 8 plus 8 and 16 plus 16, you pretty much were guaranteed it was on the test.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. All right. Well, I
How
know
did
you're
you
going to ask.
prepare? I don't know. They gave you chapters to read and you read them, and then you were like, "Oh, that's probably going to be on the test."
But
This
I read
I'm
this whole
saying is you
book.
don't know what I'm going to ask because you don't know anything of the questions I would ask.
All right.
We'll put something together.
Yeah,
Again, I don't have anything planned. I didn't know we were going to talk
that's
about this,
fine.
so
I didn't either. But then
I
now,
will.
next time, that's what you're going to do. Find
I
the
will
hardest
have.
questions.
I will have something prepared.
Good. Because I haven't been to office trivia in over a year, and it's
Oh,
really irking me.
is
Like,
there, are you afraid somebody's taking your title, or?
oh, nobody could take, no, please. There are teams of like 10 people
Yeah.
who can't even come close. It's my friend and I. That's it. There's two of us. We destroy every other team, usually by a lot.
So wait a minute. What is your name again? What's the trivia?
Scrantonicity 3. Now, do you
And
know
there's like
why it's
two.
Scrantonicity 3? Because
No,
Scrantonicity 2 was already taken by Kevin when he remade his band after Scrantonicity was broken up.
oh yeah, yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
I forgot he was in the Synchronicity band. Yeah, or
Yes.
the
Scrantonicity band. But
yeah
they
the
only
cover
played
band.
police covers. Exactly.
Right. Yes,
That's fantastic.
I remember it.
Good.
Excellent. So
This
that'll
is
be something
exciting.
for future. We're gonna put that together. I will.
This is a reason you should like and subscribe to find this fantastic continent because you're not going
All
to know about it.
all 9 listeners have liked and subscribed.
Good. Well, I mean, maybe we'll get
Viewers,
another one
listeners,
or two.
whatever it is. I just get stuck in radio sometimes.
Uh,
Listeners. It's like, you know, people are just listening to this, not watching the video.
Yeah, well, it's fine. Whatever. I mean, we're going to put a podcast up, or we'll put it in podcast form eventually, so people can listen to this, then listen to the Office Deep Dive podcast. Just right in the
Back
road.
to back.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
not?
And if they're not asleep by then they can dial in some light music and take a nap. Whew. All right. Cool. I have a question for you.
Ooh, I have an answer for you.
This happened to me the other day, and I wanted to
Yes.
see if you've had the same reaction, because I don't understand this. Have you ever had somebody taste something and have the visible reaction that it does not taste good, and then turn and say to you, "Oh, this doesn't taste good. Taste this. Does this taste bad to you?"
Taste,
Like,
smell, every sense.
like second thing is like milk. Why do people take milk, sniff milk, have the reaction of oh, and then go, "Hey, smell this. Does this smell bad to you?" Like, why do you need confirmation on that?
It's funny you say that, because I think that's a guy thing. Because my girlfriend has told me, like, I've done that before where I was like, ooh, no, smell that. And she's like, why would I smell that? Did you just see your face and reaction? That I don't want to do that. It's clearly bad. Throw it out. She's like, what? I've never done, I don't do that. And she doesn't do that. So I think it's a guy thing, but I have had that happen to me more times than I care. And the thing is, about half the time, I smell or taste it or whatever it is. I don't know why.
Right. And why do people take it and then do it?
I have done that. I don't know. They'd be like, "Oh, this is terrible. Taste that." I'm like, "Okay. Oh, that is terrible. Why did I do that?"
We all want to share in that pain, and I don't
Yep.
understand why.
Yep.
It's very crazy to me.
I don't get that.
Very crazy to me.
I'm trying to think when was the last time that happened, but it's been a while.
Okay, so here's the next thing I have for you.
Yes.
Do you or do you not throw out food on the expiration date?
Okay. So it depends on what it is, and I know that's not a good answer, but things that I am confident with my knowledge of what they're supposed to smell like or look like, I keep until I know it's not good anymore.
Okay.
Other things, we'll see. Like milk, for instance. I know when milk goes bad. I smell it. It's fine. Ooh, that's not good. I throw it out. Right.
Right.
Oh, things like chicken. It depends. That's one thing that I don't know. It depends. Like sometimes we'll freeze chicken sometimes. If it's a good deal on sale at the store, we buy a whole bunch, we'll freeze it. But if it's been in the refrigerator just a little bit too long, I don't chance it because
raw food, raw meat.
that's
I
the
get
one thing
that,
I don't
right?
mess around
But
with.
I mean, like, things like dry goods.
Oh no, no. That's
right. Things like, I'm trying to think the last thing it was, but like spices.
No.
You ever thrown out spices because
No, I don't think so.
Mustard.
Honest to God, I don't know the last time I've checked the spices. They could be a year and a half gone, and I don't know.
Right.
Maybe
Mustard.
that's why I don't taste it as much. Oh no, no.
Never. No. I've never thrown out mustard.
No,
I think it lasts forever.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a date on it, I really don't care. But I've known people that literally, like, the day that their expiration date hits, they throw it away.
Oh, my mother is that person.
Yes. Yeah.
Does not, and I'm like, what? Why? Give it to me then. I'll eat it. That's fine. I don't understand what the problem is. She's like, well, it's the expiration date. I'm like, that's how like big grocery gets you. They put a date on it. Like, how do they possibly know that at exactly 4 days, 7 days, 10 days, a year, whatever it is? No, that's the exact date that is going to go bad. How is that possible? There's no possible way.
But you'll literally eat a banana when it's brown as brown.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's a question. How do you eat a banana? Do you eat it from the part you pull off from the stem, or do you take it from the other end?
Depends on how ripe it is.
Because I used to always break off the top part that was the stem part and then rip it down.
Right.
But a friend of mine has showed me that it's much easier to just poke a little hole through the I guess what would typically be considered the bottom of the banana.
Yep.
And just peel it that way.
Yeah, there's videos I've seen where like that's how monkeys eat the bananas, is they do them from the bottom, right?
Yep.
I found it depends on how ripe it is. If
That's
it's a
fair.
very ripe banana, do the bottom. If it's a
Right.
not so ripe banana, then you do the top.
That's fair.
That's my little life hack right there.
That's a good life hack.
My banana hack.
What is the difference between a banana and a plantain?
That's a great question. I know they're different, and I think they taste different.
Oh,
But
yeah, plantains are awful.
I'm not really a plantain fan. I've had plantains once in my life, and I did not enjoy them. I know people love them, and they fry them, and they do all kinds of stuff with them. But yeah, they're not my thing. But I don't know what the difference is.
Well, so I was at a delicious Cuban restaurant a few years ago, and they have a lot of plantains in their
Yeah.
food,
Yep.
and
Absolutely.
I saw it on the plate, and I thought it was a banana, and I'm like, that seems like a weird thing to put with what was it, ropa vieja, but it's a delicious meat and fantastic. So I'm like, okay, I'm eating it, and I'm like, let's try the banana, and it was a plantain, and when you look at something and you think, okay, or you don't look at it, but you thought that it was milk. You put
Yeah.
down two glasses next to each other, and your wife puts down orange juice, and you put down milk, and you grab her orange juice and expect it to be milk, and it's just you think the world's ending.
I've
That's
never
what
had that
happened.
happen. That is a weird analogy, by the way.
That's
I'm
happened
not
to
that
us rather
really.
often. Yeah, where she'll put her stuff down right next to mine. I don't look, and I just take it, and I think I'm drinking milk or whatever it is, and it's just, oh, it's orange juice. Okay, it's amazing how your perception of what you think it's going
Sure.
to be that blows my mind, and that's what it
I
was with the
understand it.
plantain.
Just not an analogy that I would have come up with because I'm not done that. But I get what you're saying. Yes, you expect a plantain to taste like a banana. It does not.
It does not at all.
Not
No,
even close.
nope.
Not even close. But it is not my favorite food. No.
Yeah.
Now, do you cook?
Uh, I make
You're
sandwiches.
thinking
Does
about
that
it.
count?
Says no.
Does making sandwiches count?
Uh, I guess if you consider that cooking, I mean, it
I
depends on
mean,
what you consider cooking.
yeah. I mean, no, I don't. I do not.
Okay.
I can if I am required to. When I was a single man for many a year, I would put some things together, but it would be like chicken breasts and a
Yeah.
side salad. That's it.
Okay.
Or like
But
some salmon.
you don't like find the joy in cooking.
Oh, there is no joy in cooking. I enjoy eating. I have no problem with eating, but the cooking part is just a hassle to get to the eating.
Oh, I
And
love
God
cooking.
love you do?
Yeah. Oh, I love cooking.
I so my girlfriend does a majority of our cooking, and I love her for that because she's a fantastic cook. She's never made anything that I have not in some way loved.
Yeah.
But the one time I tried to cook for her, she wasn't feeling great. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cook tonight. Don't worry about it. I was gonna make my classic chicken breast with the side salad. Whatever. It was something.
That's
It
your
was better than
go-to.
nothing.
That's my
Yeah.
go-to meal right there.
So
It's like the it's the Everyone Loves Raymond episode where her go-to was it lemon chicken?
yes.
And it wasn't very
Yeah.
good, but he ate it anyway,
It
and that's how they fell in love, right?
pan on stove, turn it on, fantastic. Put a little oil in there. Well, I gave a rather heavy-handed pour. And again, she's in bed, not feeling super well at the time. So I'm like, I'll take care of it. So she's laying in there, very heavy pour. So I'm like, oh crap, whatever, it's fine. It'll be fine. I put
Right.
the chicken breast in there and it just starts bubbling up, just shooting oil everywhere. It got so bad that the smoke alarm started going off. And she gets out of bed, like not feeling great. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Making you dinner." And she's like, "Stop. Just we'll order something." And
Just quit.
I on a so they were the driest chicken breasts in the history of food, but I ate them anyway because it's the principle of the thing. I made the food. I'm not going to just throw it away. I ate
I
it, and
ate
it was
them
fine.
anyway.
I ate them anyway.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
I think we
She
ended up
didn't eat
ordering.
them.
No, she did not. She was like,
No.
"This is not going to make me feel any better. Order a pizza or something. We'll be fine."
Oh, that's hysterical.
So, what do you like to cook? Or is there a type of food or
Oh man. Um, I wouldn't say there's a type of food. Like I mean, I we try and vary the diet, right? So like the kids now make pizza together, or like tonight they made pizza with their mom. Um, or we'll do like I do like fish, or I'll do chicken, or so I don't eat meat a
okay,
lot, right? So I've scaled back my meat. I would say vegetarian-ish.
okay,
I mean,
sure,
if I have a choice, I'll do a non-meat deal. But
okay,
I also I still like chicken, right? And
right.
so I'll balance it out and have something that has chicken in it or whatever. But then
Sure.
what I try and do is if I'm eating meat, then the next meal I'll do something that doesn't have meat in it, right?
Sure.
So I'm not a real like strict vegetarian to these rules that all these people want to live by, right? And have, and that's fine if that's for them. But for me, it's I think there's a balance, right? I think that
Yeah.
like you can do vegetarian a couple nights a week or 3 nights a
Right.
week and balance it out, right? So that's kind of what we do. But I love making Italian food. I love doing really just finding new recipes and trying them.
Okay.
I make a pretty mean tortilla soup that's vegetarian. It's actually really, really fun. I like to make like an all vegetable soup. But I also will do like, the regular stuff, grill and all that kind of stuff too as well. But yeah, I love cooking. I love making something that everybody gets to enjoy and eat.
Right.
I love that process. And I love, sometimes it turns out, and sometimes it doesn't. Let's be honest, right? There's times when I make stuff and I look at my wife and I go, "This is either going to be really good or it's going to be awful, and we're going to order something else," right? So, it is what it is at that point. But yeah, I mean, I like making food. I like making
So
salmon or doing fish or whatever.
let's pretend I'm coming to the wonderful state of Ohio.
Uh
I'm
huh.
going to be a house guest of yours. What would your go-to meal be that if you were like, Joe, I need you to try some sort of food that I'm going to make? What would that go? What would that be? What's your go-to?
I could do a chicken parmesan.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
um, I could do, I mean, I don't know, it just depends on what I was feeling. Salmon to me is something that's always really good you can make.
I like a good salmon.
Um, yeah, I mean, it just depends. Like,
Okay,
I'll throw something together.
sure. And if you come over here, we will order some sort of food because I will not put you through my
'Cause
misery.
I'm not eating your rear chicken.
Don't eat anything. I can make you a sandwich if you'd like. I
That'd be
can
awesome.
I can putter through some mac and cheese. A ramen, I think we have
Yeah.
some. A frozen
Yep.
pizza, probably. Probably a bagel with some cream cheese. Like we have a lot of options if you consider that cooking. Are you a
That's,
baker? How about that?
I can bake,
Because there isn't.
and I did make blueberry muffins the other day.
Oh, how delightful!
Yeah, I made blueberry muffins and I made chocolate chip muffins that came out more like scones. So I did
Whatever.
something wrong and it
They're
tasted very
edible.
much like a scone and it was delicious.
It's edible. Who
But I thought the
cares?
blueberry muffins were very good.
Good. Well, I've been told that baking and cooking are two very like a lot of people who are very good at
Yes.
cooking cannot bake, and a lot of bakers cannot necessarily cook.
Well, baking tends to be more precise. Like you
Yes.
have to measure, whereas
Correct.
cooking, it's a lot of throw this in or throw that in or however your tastes are kind of thing, right? And
Mhm.
so like there's a big difference, right, with that. Whereas with baking, it's very much a like
Right.
if you don't get the measurements right, it's not coming out right. Thus, the reason why chocolate chip muffins came out like
Scones. Well, my girlfriend loves to use the phrase in her cooking, measure with her heart. That's what she does. She's like, I'm just going to measure it with my heart. There it is.
my mom cooked that way. So I didn't learn to cook
Mhm.
when I was a kid. We grew up very traditional, right? So it was like men worked and the women cooked, right? And that was
Sure.
kind of like the whole thing. My mom said, "Hey, when you're going to college, you're going to know how to make basic stuff." The first thing I learned to do was fry an egg, right?
Okay.
And then from there, right? And I didn't cook a lot, but I cooked the stuff I could make, right? Because you can always get something frozen and make it. Like there's always directions on a package.
Mhm.
It wasn't until later on when I got older that I missed out on my mom's cooking, and I went back and said, "Hey, mom, how do you make this?" And she couldn't sit and write a recipe because she's like, I don't know how much of something I put into something. I just
Right.
know
I
how I
just,
make it.
right.
And so I had to learn like that. Like, and
Mhm.
so like I forced her to sit down and write recipes down because I'm like, look, mom, when you're gone, no one has these recipes. No one knows how you
Right.
made the stuff that we grew up on as kids. And so she does that now. But yeah, there's a lot of times where people that cook, they put in what they think is right. And so it's all in their minds and they are creative. Like they're creative people that make that. So um I'm not that creative. So I like to have a recipe and follow it as
Hmm.
best I can.
Yeah,
And then I make very little alterations at times.
I'm sure I could cook if I had a recipe, but again, I don't have the desire to do that. She loves cooking. She really enjoys it. Like she
Yeah,
loves trying new things and see new
sure.
recipes and just making something delicious. I look at that as a labor, not a labor of love, just labor where I'm like, oh, I I gotta go to the store. I gotta buy heavy whipping cream and cherry tomatoes, and the, and then I have to come home after a day of work and make that. So that's why I give her so much credit, because she does that. But I
Yeah.
guess if I was going to enjoy it, I guess it wouldn't be so bad. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm like, and plus, I don't trust myself with a knife. I am a collector of many everyday carry items like knives, like pocket knives, all
Right.
good with those. But once it comes to chopping, there's going to be a missing fingertip, and I don't need that in my life. Mm-mm.
I can't tell you how many times I've cut myself chopping.
Yeah,
It
just
absolutely does happen.
that's
Yes. So
yeah, no, I know it's, and it wouldn't be a cut. It would be a missing area of something. Yeah. It's not just a little, ooh, ow, ooh, that hurt. It would be,
you're
grab that end, we need to go to the hospital. Like, it
you're
needs to be
pledging to the head
reattached.
of the Yakuza cutting off for the first segment of a digit to
Yep.
regain your honor.
Correct. I don't need that. That's why I am not part of the accuser at all.
That's good.
No,
Knowing your limits, that's always a good thing.
it is.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, right? I get it when people, I don't think cooking's for everybody, to be honest.
No. Yeah. Well, so it's funny. My mom is an interesting example of that. When we were younger, my mom was a single mom, and we lived with my grandparents. So, grandma from Italy, like
Hmm.
Italian,
Right.
and she loved, like, her job was to stay at home and cook. That's what she did. My grandfather worked the whole thing. When they retired, he sat, watched TV, did whatever he did. She made dinner, they went together, and that's how it was. My mother tried cooking, but honestly, it just never went well. It was, she could. I always said she could burn water, because she could. It was very, very not good. And I remember, she'll deny this. If she ever listens, she'll call me up and yell at me. She made cookies for my third grade class. Everybody got sick. I remember that. She says I make it up. Who are you going to believe? Anyways, now, she's, I don't know, she's probably about 60, and she retired, so she's been cooking a lot more. My stepdad used to do a lot of the cooking around the house, but then now she's doing it, and she's gotten to be a pretty darn good cook. So she blossomed into cooking in life just when she had some free time, and I feel like that might happen to me. I might enjoy cooking more once I'm retired or something like that, but I got a little bit of a ways to go.
I think that we should do a quiz.
Okay. I love quizzes.
I know you do. I've learned this now. Okay, we're going to test your answers here. Are you ready?
Oh, yes, please.
All right. So this is a cooking quiz for kids.
Oh no, this is not going to
We're
go
going to
well. It's going to be
see how
very
you
embarrassing for
do.
me.
So, first things first, which of the following things should you do before handling any food? Are you ready for your choices?
Yes,
Put some music on to listen to as you work.
I think that's important.
Make your bed, take out the trash, or wash your hands.
Now, I know the answer they want me to give is wash your hands, but I think there should be a little bit of music to make an ambiance, to make it enjoyable for everybody. But my final answer is wash your hands. Yes.
Okay. For
Am I right?
breakfast, you and
Am I
your
right?
parents. Oh, we're going to find out at the end.
Oh, at the end. I'm
Well,
sorry.
we're going to tabulate your scores here
I
at the end.
apologize. Yes, yes,
For
yes.
breakfast, you and your parents have decided to make a Western omelet.
Oh, delicious.
What kind of meat goes into a traditional Western omelet?
The only reason I know this is because this is what my family enjoys, and I believe it is ham.
Okay. It's Thanksgiving, and your parents are basting the turkey as you help make the pumpkin pie.
Oh,
What
it's
does basting
embarrassing.
mean?
Oh, what does basting mean? I believe it's taking, uh what do you, wait, baste? Yeah, it's, you basically, like, brush it with gravy or juice or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, though. It's a basting. Yeah, and you pour. No, you pour it. It's either brushing or pouring some sort of a liquid on the item. That is
Okay.
a baste.
All right. You are helping to make some strawberry gelatin. After it is all mixed, where would you put it until it is ready to eat?
The refrigerator?
Okay. Oh, goodness. You are homesick today with a cold.
Mm.
Luckily, you helped make some chicken soup.
Hmm.
What is the liquid in the soup called?
Broth.
Okay. You are helping make some macaroni and cheese. What would you add to the pasta aside from cheese to make sure it's nice and creamy?
Milk.
Okay.
Okay, I feel more confident the further we go down this list, but
The cake. Okay, we're good. The cake batter you have helped make is all ready. What would you put into the bottom of the cake pan to keep the cake from sticking to it as it bakes?
Like a nonstick spray, a canola oil spray, or a vegetable oil spray, or something.
Oh, you're fancy. What if you didn't have that? What would you use?
Butter.
Okay. The recipe you and your mother are using says to preheat the oven. What does preheat mean?
Well, I mean, the oven doesn't just get to like 450 degrees. You have to set it there and allow it to reach that temperature.
Okay. Little Joe's doing well.
I'm doing okay, I think.
Today for lunch, you are going to help make some grilled cheese sandwiches. What would you melt in the bottom of the frying pan so that the bread gets nice and toasted?
Butter.
Okay. You are at the grocery store shopping for ingredients to make French bread.
This is a long quiz.
This is our last question.
Oh, okay.
Which of these things should you make sure to buy if you want your bread to rise?
Yeast.
Okay.
Is that an option? Can you read the options for me?
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Washing your hands for question number 1 was correct. 99% of players got that correctly.
Good.
Ham was the right ingredient for a Western omelet. Eggs, milk, green pepper, onion, and ham. 88% got that right. So basting means to moisten with a liquid. You got that correct. So 89% of people got that right. In the refrigerator for gelatin, yes, Jell-O goes in the refrigerator. You chill it. 97% got that right. Broth is the name of the liquid in a soup. 95% got that right. Milk is what you would put in macaroni and cheese to make it creamy. It's 93%. Butter or shortening is what you use to make sure that food doesn't stick to the bottom of a pan as it bakes.
Wait, what the hell is shortening?
Shortening is they sell it in a can. It's like a grease, basically.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Shortening goes into it. I'll tell you what, like my mom cooked with shortening. I couldn't tell you what to use shortening for today, but it's like another form of like a grease butter thing.
Okay.
Preheat means to get the oven hot before putting in the food. Very good. You got that right. Let's see. Butter goes in the bottom of the pan for a grilled cheese sandwich. You got that right. And yeast is what is used to make bread rise. You are 10 out of 10.
So I am a successful child.
The average score for children is 9 out of 10. So you are smarter than the average child in the 10 questions around how to cook for kids.
My next goal is to be smarter than a 5th grader.
Well, let's take it one step at a time.
Well, okay.
It's the Dino and Joe Show.